Hey, remember N64 Racing Games? I don't. I only had Mario Kart Wave Race and Diddy Kong Racing. Also, funny thing, so I haven't edited this video in 1 year from when this was created, and you have under 10 hours to thank for that. Thanks, dude. Also, those earlier images I showed, I'm not going to be covering in this video. In fact, he actually covered 2 of them on his channel, so I'd actually recommend checking it out. It's actually kind of what inspired me to do this video, believe it or not. And back to the original video. Okay, that's a bit of a lie because there was a few racing games I rented once, but I mean, looking through all these, there was definitely a lot I avoided as a child, especially the ones at Blockbuster. I was like, I don't know about these games. Hey, what's this? Beetle Adventure Racing, that looks fun and colorful. I have no memory of playing that game. This is Coyoda, and I'm gonna do the logical thing of playing California Speed. Wait, Speed? You can have that in California? I mean, there's a lot of places in California where you don't have a lot of speed. The 101, Los Angeles downtown. I mean, if they're going to be hitting all those hot spots in California, I mean, I'm just saying. I digress. Now, let's just take a quick look at my reaction to, I guess one of the modes in here. Light, Sport, Heavy, State, Up? I'm guessing this is a campaign mode. Good job, me from a year ago. You put 2 and 2 together. Which, to keep things short, because I want to condense this video further than my past self did, it's basically a bare bones campaign mode, and you just go through a preset amount of stages over each week, and then you get some credits, and that's all there is to it. And you have locations that are actual real locations in California, like what we see here, Highway 1, which is actually California 1 or the State Route 1. You also have San Francisco and more. But it was when I was going through the vehicle selection that I realized this game was arcadey, because, I mean, there's a golf cart that you see me double back to. And, I mean, it's cool that you get some color customization. We're talking the RGBs and all that, but this is the kind of racing game where I feel it is what it is. It's by Midway, so it almost has that Cruisin' feel, but I'd rather play Cruisin' over this. There's just something about, I don't know, it's maybe the colors of the stages, or maybe it was the feel that just didn't sit right with me. Like I said, it's okay. If I rented this game back then, I would have been entertained. I mean, look at this. I'm riding a golf cart up, Golden State Bridge. So, I mean, there's some entertaining things here. It's kind of more of a roller coaster ride, as I'd equate it to, but I just don't feel as engaged with this game. I really didn't. Like I said, it's more of a, I don't know, it's a little roller coaster thing. You go through it and you get surprised the first time through. Mount Shasta, I'm riding through a volcano. Cool. But once again, if the gameplay's not there, it's hard to keep your focus. It's hard to keep your attention there. Maybe I've been spoiled by the newer games of the modern age. In fact, maybe I'm happy that I'm talking about this a year later when Cruis'n Blast was announced at the last E3 for the Nintendo Switch. Just imagine that, but on top of this. And I think we'd have something pretty cool. On to the next game. I did not pause the video. This is actually happening. This is Beetle Adventure Racing's intro, a rather strange collection of captured footage, and they put it to play one after the other. I'm surprised it doesn't load fast because it's on cartridge. I always thought the cartridges were faster than the CDs. But regardless, this should have been my go-to. This should have been the game I rented at Blockbuster. I saw it on the shelves all the time. I don't know if I actually did play it at one point in my life or not. I think I did, because when I played it, it felt familiar, but just the controls felt, well, actually, yeah, we'll get to that in just a bit, but you actually have a mode or two here. You have your one-player mode, and you have Beetle Battle. Now, as much as I would have liked to show Beetle Battle, yeah, it's 2 to 4 players only, but it is your multiplayer battle affair, like Mario Kart 64's battle mode or Mario Kart Super Nintendo's battle mode, and it actually seems pretty cool from what I've seen on the internet. If there's anything to take away, it's actually that this game has some content to it. It actually has a little bit of meat on its bones. Full Grid being a full-on race, 8 cars, etc. You have dual mode, so if you could just want to go up against one person, or time attack, you want to go solo. And let me tell you, I like it when a game has unlockable stages and whatnot, because it actually shows, hey, there's a little bit of single-player content here. You get 3 cars and there's more to unlock. I mean, sure, it's nice when all the stages are there and, you know, you and your friends can just start playing, but at the same time, there's also a fun element to being able to team up with your friends to unlock more stages and cars or just content in a game. I think that's actually really fun, too. Okay, but what about the actual meat? Is it tender? Is it juicy? Heck yeah. Beetle Adventure Racing was a pleasant surprise, simply because I mean, for one, it already has somewhat of a hybrid between arcade and simulation, so it doesn't isolate both types of players, more on the arcade side though. But I think what was actually really cool was to see that it encouraged a little bit of off-road driving to either go out there for little speed boosts or even for shortcuts and whatnot. It actually encourages trying to see if you could get ahead somehow, going off the beaten route. And you know what that means? That means when you even replay a stage on your own, you'll also have that self-discovery, which is kind of a, what was it? It's a thing in fighting games. You get a fighting game for the first time and you're discovering all these new mechanics and everything. That feeling was there for me with Beetle Adventure Racing. That feeling of like, whoa, I can improve and improve and improve. But I'm gonna keep moving because this is a game I could have rented, so I would have only got to spend so much time with it. And this is to bring up certain N64 racing games that are rarely ever talked about above things like Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong's Racing, or dare I say Mickey's Speedway USA. Okay, so in a way, I'm not even going to say that much about Cruisin' because since Cruis'n Blast got announced at E3, everyone started reminiscing and all that stuff, so I'm just putting it here to say, hey, Cruis'n existed, I rented it back in the day. I mean, I remember I first rented Cruis'n USA, and I was like, oh wow, hey, this is cool, but then realized you couldn't really do 4 players with it? Yeah, see, that was Cruis'n World that was able to do that. But mysteriously, I would never know of the existence of a third Cruis'n that would come afterwards. Cruis'n Exotica was the 3rd entry in the Cruis'n series, and I had no idea this existed. In fact, I think I discovered it in like 2014, 15, when I went to a bowling alley and I just saw the arcade sitting right there. And honestly, having given it a go, this is the Cruis'n I would have wanted, because it actually has the modes. It actually has something to do. You have Cruis'n Freestyle, you have Cruis'n Challenge, and you have Cruis'n Exotica. It's just more Cruis'n for your Cruis'ns. I don't know how else to put it. Cruis'n isn't the best series, but it's certainly something still enjoyable. It's certainly more charming than California Speed. Let's move on to Top Gear Rally. Well, hey, you get some customization options. That's really cool. I like that, you know, rally stuff. You gotta take in mind the weather and the time of day and all that, yes. And seeing that there's 2 types of cars, they really want you to, you know, unlock things via the championship mode. There's a single player mode and a championship mode. Though, now my question is, what are the handling types? I feel like I need a manual for this. I do not have a manual. Automatic and manual transmission. You can't not have those in a racing game. And different, you know, type of grip on your tires. I'd probably go with slippy because I want to get those drifts in, and then the suspensions. Oh, I guess for landing bumps and all that kind of stuff. Oh, we get some decals too. Okay, so you could customize the decals. That's pretty cool. But you know what's not cool? Let's see if we could drift. Oh geez, okay. Maybe a little bit slippy. This is not Sega Rally. That is for sure. Oh geez. Trying to figure out if there is drifting. Otherwise, the turning is like stiff until you start. I mean, you know, you got kind of rally like still. Top Gear Rally 2 is a much better game. Doesn't even feel like it was remotely the same game. It is just so far improved. The graphics, the gameplay, the feel of the everything, just all of it. Even simulation, like damage to the vehicle, it's all there. This would be one of the coolest things you could get on the 64 if you needed like a Sega Rally fix. But I digress. I probably never planned for this video to go anywhere near the 10-minute mark. Some of you might have thought I talked about things perhaps a little too fast. And yeah, that was partly in due to realizing maybe I could have had more footage, maybe I could have put more hours into the games, but at the same time, I believe I was on a short schedule when I was working on this, and I was also trying to simulate this idea of if I was renting the game and, you know, just giving it a little bit of my time and seeing if I enjoyed it or not. And if I didn't, or if it didn't really pull me in, then I just really didn't give it at all much of my time. And if it did, well, it was supposed to be something I would go into more depth later, and well, that kind of fell through. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll go back to these games just yet either. If I'm gonna touch anything 64, it's gonna be talking about Hiryunoken again, and I know I did discuss a lot of that on my old channel, Casual Combos, but I really want to get into the meat of it this time around, or just even make any kind of video on it. I don't know what I'll do, but I do know I want SD Hiryunoken Densetsu on my channel soon, hopefully. Which some of you might know as Flying Dragon, but I'm talking about the sequel to Flying Dragon that never made it to the West. But another shout out to Under10Hours for being brave enough to upload a video that was totally different than what he usually does. Check out his link in the description, and I encourage you to watch his most recent video on Metal Gear Solid 2. It really has an important message to it. Regardless, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's also totally different than what I usually do, with my yaoi videos, or my makes me videos, or my boop videos, and all that silly stuff. And if you enjoyed the video, you could leave a like and subscribe. And, you know, stay in tune for whatever crazy shenanigans I might upload. See ya!